Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at this 2023 BMW M8 Competition Gran Coupe. Huge shout out and thank you to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this vehicle for me today. Check out their website, that link is down in the description. So this is finished off in Brooklyn Gray Metallic, and we'll go over the MSRP once we go over all the specs and features and get this out on the road. So let's start off with what powers the M8. This has a 4.4 liter twin power turbo V8 paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission, pumping out 617 horsepower, 553 pound-feet of torque, sent through that xDrive all-wheel drive system, propelling this 4,500 pound vehicle from 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds with a top speed of 189 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 20.1 gallons. You'll expect to see around 15 miles per gallon in the city, 22 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 119.2 inches. Its overall length is 200.9. It has a width of 76.5 inches, a height of 55.9, and its ground clearance measures in at 5.1 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for this M8, for the 23-year model, there's a few slight changes compared to the 2022, but nothing major for this model. But the one that we're looking at in front of us has the driver assistance package as well as the M Sport package, which provides it with the Shadowline package, which is all of the gloss black accents that you see up front. So we have the traditional kidney style grille with a really nice design for all of these slats that run throughout it. And as you can tell, no obstructions to allow a lot of cooling to that engine. There's also a forward-facing camera with the BMW 50 years badge just above that. This also has LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals with the laser light technology. You'll be able to tell that because of the blue accents that are within that housing. There's parking sensors in the lower section, as well as a sensor for the full adaptive cruise, and a lot more cutouts in that lower section to provide even more cooling. Now there's some subtle lines that run down the hood, and then a lower splitter there, or air dam, just to give it a nice touch. Now as we move on to the side, this has a staggered setup for the wheels. They're 20 by 9.5 up front, 20 by 10.5 in the rear. Finished off in gloss black with that BMW 50 years badge, and with the M Sport brakes, which are finished off in blue. This has 6 pistons up front and single pistons in the rear. Now you will see some very nice lines running down the side. There's even more gloss black trim for that piece just behind the tire. It's on the power folding side mirrors, which have the camera and the turn signal. More gloss black around the window trim, and it gets the full carbon fiber roof, which is a really nice touch. And being the Gran Coupe, this is stretched basically from the M8 Coupe. You can see it has a nice flowing design for that rear glass and ties in nicely coming to the rear end. Now there's more gloss black for the trunk mounted spoiler. This has a backup camera, LED taillights, along with the parking sensors. There's more gloss black for that diffuser, as well as the quad tip dual exhaust with those tips being finished off in gloss black. Let's take a listen to those, however. We can triple tap that lock button and bring this to life. It definitely sounds very nice. You can shut that off as needed. We will get more exhaust clips here in just a little bit. Now as we work our way to the cargo, you can use the button on the key fob or the electronic button up underneath, where we have the power trunk that will open up. And as you can tell, there's a good amount of space for any items that you would like to place in the back. There's some battery access over on the driver's side, small net on that passenger side. You cannot lift up the floor, but you can fold down the back seat. So just by pulling on these tabs on each side, and they will fold almost flat, giving you a lot more interior storage. So it makes it very practical if this is your only vehicle. Now with the power trunk, you can close and lock it. The one on the left side will just close it. And as we move on to the interior, you can lock and unlock this using the back door handles, which is very nice. And for the interior, we have a great combo against this Brooklyn Gray. We have the red leather paired with all the black accents, even the Alcantara running on the upper section. This has the Bowers & Wilkins audio sound system with all the brushed aluminum accents, and we even have the adjustable sunshades, which you can control from the back. So we have one for this window, the other window, and then of course the rear glass. There's all the red stitching, little bit of storage in that lower section too. The M badge is down on the door sill, which is an illuminating badge. And then take a look at these seats. I love the accent with the red running right through the middle. It's not overdone. It's definitely a nice touch. Now at 5'10", I can easily hop into the back seats, where you'll notice right in the middle, we do have a lot going on. This is a 5-seater, so your middle seat passenger would have a leg on each side. There are 2 air vents in the middle, some auxiliaries, and a little bit of storage. And then on the back section, we do have heated seats with all the climate adjustments, so your backseat passengers can be nice and comfortable. And right in the middle, if you pull this down, there's a little bit of storage on that back side with cup holders in the front section. Everything is covered in leather with more of that stitching. It's a very nice design to see. Now you can also fold the middle seat down independently. So if you have some longer items, or maybe you just want a higher armrest, you have the option to do that. The entire back section is covered in more of that Alcantara. This is a premium feeling interior. We even have the BMW colors stitched on the seat belts. Very, very nice. We'll get another look at that Alcantara headliner. Such a beautiful design. Now as we work our way to the front doors, they are just like the rears. However, for this driver's side, we have the memory seating adjustments, all of the window adjustments, side mirror adjustments, even some of the sunshade controls. There's the trunk release and a lot more storage space. Look at how beautiful and elegant this is. M8 Competition is another illuminating badge. And then M8 is also in the headrest with the beautiful design for these seats. Now all the automatic adjustments are on the side. However, there is a manual adjustment for the front section of that seat, so you can adjust that as needed. And this is a low car, so it is easy to enter and exit, where we can move on to the beautiful steering wheel. It's the M steering wheel, of course, which makes it heated. There's all the BMW colors stitched in it as well. On this right side, there's volume and tuning, as well as Bluetooth and voice commands, along with an audio control. And then on this left side is all the cruise and adaptive cruise control settings, along with the steering assist. This also has the paddle shifters in M1 and M2. But let's fire this M8 back up. With my foot on the brake, that red button is down below. Let's bring this back to life. And coming back to the digital gauge cluster, on the left side is the fuel level and miles per hour. On the right side, you will see the tach, engine temperature, and then some more info within that you can go through. So you can use that button on the top of the turn signal stalk, where currently it is showing the driving modes that are currently set up. So you can change those, which I will come back to. You can also see what gear the vehicle is in. There's live readouts for your MPG. You can look at the odometer and some other data information. There's the PSI and temperature for the tires, even some more vitals that you can pull up, along with live readouts for horsepower and torque. So if I give the vehicle some gas, you will see those adjust. And then you can also pull up a G-force meter and monitor your audio. So it's nice to have that front and center. Now just above M8, this little icon area right there, that is for the adaptive cruise, so that can monitor that you are paying attention. Now we have M1 and M2, like I mentioned earlier. You can have shortcuts basically to all the different driving modes already preset and configured, which is really nice to have. Now on this left side, you will see all the headlight and parking light adjustments, along with a dimmer switch for the gauges. There's one air vent, and you can see the Alcantara covers the entire dash, where this also has the head-up display. Currently it is showing miles per hour and the speed limit sign. Now you can change that by using M mode down below. So when I push on that, you will see the entire gauge cluster change, more of a race vibe to it, with the tachs on both sides, and what gear you are in is right in the middle. And then for the head-up display, hopefully you can see now the entire tach is above the miles per hour and the speed limit sign. So just depending on your driving for the day, you will notice the Alcantara goes all the way to the passenger side. Beautiful touch for this spec. Now right in the middle, we have the touchscreen system, which is a little bit larger than the 2022 year model. I think it has a great look to it. And you'll notice on the home screen, we have navigation along with phone and music. There's the setup for the different driving modes, engine and tire data. You can see some more data and the compass as well. Now on this left side, these are all shortcuts to quickly get into all this information, which makes it very easy to get to. If we go into car now, I'm going to go through the rest of this info using the controls down below, where there are some shortcuts just in front of that rotary dial. And if I go all the way up to the driving information, go over to sport displays, you can monitor all this information if you are having some spirited driving fun. Now under M menu, under M1, this is how you can configure all of the driving modes. So you can set up 1 and 2 depending on how you would like to drive and have those quick shortcuts like I mentioned earlier. We have vehicle status where you can go through some vitals, and then under settings, you have a lot more info to go through from your interior lighting, you have your displays, your driver assistance, and some general info that you can set up as needed. There's also different driver profiles, the owner's manual, and of course this has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a few other apps depending on what you would like to put on this. And by using those shortcuts, you can see I can quickly get through all of that info, which is very helpful. Now underneath that, there are 2 air vents and a shortcut to the intelligent safety. So this is all of the tech features that are available for this model that you can go through and set up to your liking. And then just underneath that screen, we have a small LCD screen for the front seat climate adjustment. So you'll see all of those finished off in brushed aluminum. These are even heated and ventilated seats. Just by pushing on that one button, you can control whether you want it to be heated or cooled. There's also some more AC controls right in the middle on both sides. And then underneath that, there's power and volume for the radio, all of the presets and tuning. You will see an M8 Competition badge. And underneath all of this beautiful carbon fiber, this has a wireless charging pad in the back section with a 12-volt and USB and 2 cup holders, and you can close that very nicely. Now looking at the shifter, this is not new for this 23-year model. This has been in some previous BMWs. Over to the left and up, that is for reverse, where you'll see the 360 backup camera, or 360 camera in general, where you have plenty of visibility. This has the gesture control, or you can just push on these shortcuts here to see around this entire vehicle. There's also another forward-facing camera, a top-down angle there that you can monitor, and this even has the parallel parking assist with the backup assistance. So very great technology. Drive is going to be down and to the right. If I push on that one more time, that allows you to use these paddle shifters. And then on the back side, there is park, and you can even adjust how slow or quick you want the transmission to shift. So just by pushing on those, there are 3 different settings. On the left side, you can see traction control along with a shortcut to the forward-facing camera. So you can pull that up in the full screen view. You can also adjust the parking sensors as well as the engine start-stop feature. And then on the back side, there's the M mode, which I previously showed. There's a setup button along with the exhaust note, auto hold, and the electronic parking brake. And then there's more leather for the center armrest. If I open this up, you can see there's a good amount of storage along with the glove box. And you can see more of the Alcantara covering that, which is beautiful to see. We'll take one last look at this interior. And then up top, you'll notice the dome lights as well. As we set off now behind the wheel for this 23 M8, this has an MSRP of $147,000. Now, I don't think that this one is fully spec'd because I think there is some carbon fiber trim accents on the exterior that are missing. Let's call this 150 grand. You're honestly getting a lot for that money. And from what the guys have told me at the dealership too, they've never seen another M8 spec'd with the Alcantara covering the entire dash to match this roof line, or a headliner I should say. So this is a very well-equipped spec. Maybe some more carbon fiber could be added to it just for some nice touches. But look at this interior as you've already seen. I really can't see why it would cost any less, especially for the power that you're getting with this coupe-like vehicle. Now, if you need something that's a little bit more practical, realistically, you're looking at a 4-seater for this with the option of having a third person in the back. But this is going to be an extremely practical vehicle that also has the performance you're looking for. So if I push M1, we are in the pretty much aggressive setting for this. We have the paddle shifters activated here. Let's put it in M mode as well. Here we go. And I'm not doing anything hard today for today's video, but I've been in the M4 comp before, which doesn't have quite as much horsepower as this, but we were able to rip on that through the mountains, and it was so phenomenal. This car would be equally as fun, even though it's a little bit longer. You can just hear that exhaust like instantly when you shift gears. You hear a little pop and it's into the next gear. Now, what I also love about this car too is that you can completely tone it down. You can go to the slower shifts, you can put it back into the relaxed setting, and you can just drive this like a normal automatic. We have to put it back there. So it's very interesting to see. For the money, you're almost getting more than one vehicle, because if you're just going from point A to point B, you just want a nice, comfortable, cruising vehicle, that's what you are going to get with this M8. It's going to shift like a normal vehicle would. You can even put it all the way up into the highest shifts in the automatic setting. Hopefully you could hear that. As soon as I slowed down, it jumped almost 3 gears there. And it gets so aggressive even in the automatic setting. So you have several different ways that you can drive this. That's what I love about BMWs too. And the fact that the performance is now in this stretched vehicle. It's so much fun to drive, and it's quick just for the short shifts that I'm doing in today's video. It's phenomenal to drive. And from second gear, here we go. This is such a quick car. And like I said, I'm not doing anything crazy in this $150,000 BMW because it is brand new, but there's a little bit that I can at least do today. And it's such a phenomenal vehicle. The interior spec on this is spot on. So many premium feeling materials. There's really nothing that you can argue with as far as how this interior is put together. It is so nice. This is a driver's car. This is a Gran Coupe. It's like a grand touring type of vehicle, something that you can absolutely daily drive. And then when you're ready, you can take it on some mountain trips. You can take it to the track. 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. That will put you into the back seat if you're not paying attention. This has incredible, incredible performance to it. Paired with that all-wheel drive system, you have something that it doesn't matter what you're driving in. You can absolutely daily drive this and bring your friends and family with you. I've been in the quickest shifts for today's video, of course, but you can tone it back, and I'm at a loss for words because of how amazing this is to drive. I'm not in the M8 that often, but if you're looking for this style of vehicle, I can't really think of anything else that really could compete with this. Maybe the Porsche Panamera GTS, one of those higher trim levels, that's kind of a vehicle like this. Audi has their Sportback designs. RS7 will be in a similar price point. So it mainly just depends on what brand you like better, what options and features you would like to go for. I have reviewed some of those models that I just mentioned if you want to check out those videos as well. But to me, I love the BMW. This is a really nice platform. We have the floating top of the mirrors there. All of the M competition cars will have that design. So quick in those shifts, and it sounds very good as well. Now as we make a U-turn here, visibility is also really easy to see all around, so I do like that. With that design, it doesn't really hinder anything. And I think that's going to wrap it up for this 2023 BMW M8 Competition Gran Coupe. Such a beautiful, beautiful vehicle. Definitely put this on your list if you're looking for a sedan Gran Coupe of this style. But huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this vehicle for me today. Check out their website, Give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and smash that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.